SNK has always been a cornerstone of gaming history, giving us some of the most iconic franchises in the industry. From legendary fighting games like the King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, and Samurai Showdown to unforgettable arcade experiences. The library is filled with hidden gems that have been dormant for far too long, with SNK in the process of reviving many of these franchises, like the recently announced Samurai Showdown action RPG and an Art of Fighting series revival. In this video, we're taking a nostalgic journey through SNK's incredible legacy to talk about 12 classic IPs that deserve a comeback. Now before we get started, a gentle reminder to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Let's get started. The Last Blade. Released in 1997, The Last Blade is a masterpiece in a fighting game genre, celebrated for its elegant visuals, refined mechanics, and deep narrative. Set in Japan during the twilight of the Edo period, the series blends historical authenticity with supernatural elements. Players chose between characters wielding traditional weapons like kaide, each representing one of two fighting styles: speed for faster combos or power for heavier, devastating strikes. Unlike Samurai Showdown, with its methodical gameplay, The Last Blade focuses on fast action combo heavy style. Its sequel, The Last Blade 2, which was released in 1998, expanded the roster and lore, cementing its status as a cult classic. A Neo Geo Pocket Color version of Last Blade was also released and praised for its accurate and fun gameplay. Despite its critical acclaim, The Last Blade has remained dormant, with only occasional appearances of its characters in crossover games and a short-lived comic book series by Tapa Studio. A revival could reintroduce this poetic samurai-themed series to modern audiences, leveraging its rich storytelling, stunning art style, and polished mechanics to captivate both old fans and new players alike. World Heroes. Developed by ADK and published by SNK in 1992, World Heroes was a unique fighting game that sought to capitalize on the popularity of the genre. The game featured a cast of historical and fictional figures brought together by Dr. Brown, a scientist who invented a time machine. The main protagonist of World Heroes is Hanzo Hattori and Fuma Kotaro, not to be confused by Hanzo Hattori from Samurai Showdown. The game would pit historical figures like Joan of Arc or Rasputin going against the Bruce Lee-inspired fighter Kim Dragon. The series stood out for its deathmatch mode, where stages had environmental hazards like spikes and electricity, adding an extra layer of chaos. Despite 4 entries between 1992 and 1995, as well as an awesome Game Boy port, the series faded as SNK focused on its flagship fighting game franchises, though a recent manga was released that spanned 3 volumes retelling the story of World Heroes. Now, with many games from SNK seeing a revival, bringing back World Heroes could tap into the nostalgic appeal of its quirky cast and innovative mechanics. Athena, a classic platformer that followed a warrior princess on her quest through fantastical worlds. Athena became a pop culture icon and eventually reimagined in the Psycho Soldier game in 1987, where players get to play as Athena Asamiya, descended to the goddess warrior from the previous game, along with her best friend Kensu. The same version of Athena became very popular as she was added to the King of Fighters series, but her original standalone adventure have been largely forgotten. Now, a new Athena game could revitalize her as an action icon while exploring her rich lore and heritage, blending classic 3D gameplay adventure with modern storytelling. Magician Lord. Released in 1990 as a Neo Geo launch title, Magician Lord was a side-scrolling action platformer that showcased the system's power and vibrant visuals, as well as an insanely challenging gameplay. Players controlled Elta, a magician tasked with stopping the evil sorcerer Gal Agies from reviving the god of destruction. The game was praised for its high difficulty, intricate level design, and Elta's ability to transform into various forms like a dragon or ninja, each with unique abilities. While the game remains a cult classic, it has never seen a sequel. Reviving Magician Lord as a new 3D action adventure or a 3D RPG game could bring its rich fantasy world to life with modern graphics and expanded gameplay, and could truly rival modern challenging games like the Dark Souls series. Iari Warriors. First released in 1986, Iari Warriors was SNK's answers to Commando, featuring Ralph and Clark, now familiar faces in King of Fighters, on a top-down shooting adventure. The game's rotary joystick controls allowed players to aim independently of their movement, a revolutionary mechanic at the time. It spawned two sequels, Iari Wars 2, Victory Road, and Iari 3, The Rescue, each adding new gameplay elements and story. With modern gameplay advancements, a reboot of Iari Warriors could deliver an intense story-driven experience while honoring its arcade roots. Think of a tactical espionage game similar to Metal Gear Solid series, but playing as Ralph Clark, Leona Hyden, and the rest of the Iari Warriors. Ninja Masters. Released in 1996, Ninja Masters was a fighting game developed by ADK and set in feudal Japan. It featured a roster of ninjas and warriors, each wielding unique weapons and mastering deadly martial arts technique. The game was praised for its weapon switching mechanic, which allowed players to fight with or without their weapons for different movesets. Think of a combination of King of Fighters and Samurai Showdown. Despite its innovative mechanics, Ninja Masters was overshadowed by SNK's other fighting franchises. Reviving it could bring a fresh perspective to weapon-based fighting games, offering a deeper dive into its lore and stylish combat. Metal Slug, one of SNK's most beloved franchises. Metal Slug debuted in 1996 as a side-scrolling run-and-gun game that combined intense action with great humor and stunning 2D pixel art. Players choose from a number of heroes to fight against General Morden's forces and later against extraterrestrial threats. With its iconic vehicles like the Metal Slug tank, over-the-top boss battles, and cooperative gameplay, the series became synonymous with arcade excellence. Though there have been mobile adaptations and spin-offs like the recently released excellent Metal Slug Tactics, fans are eagerly awaiting for a true revival that retains the classic formula while incorporating modern co-op and expanded storytelling. Sengoku. First released in 1991, Sengoku was a beat-em-up that set players against hordes of demons and undead warriors in a mix of feudal Japan and modern settings. Players could transform into various forms, including a samurai and even a ninja dog, each offering unique combat abilities. The series had two sequels, Sengoku 2 and Sengoku 3 in 2001, the latter being a standout for its refined gameplay and impressive graphics. A revival could explore the franchise's supernatural themes further, blending hack-and-slash mechanics with RPG elements to appeal to modern audiences. Biki Wan. Released in 1999 for the ill-fated Hyper Neo Geo 64, Biki Wan was a unique 3D fighting game that replaced traditional directional inputs with a button-based movement system. Set in the same universe as Art of Fighting and Fatal Fury, the game featured a martial arts tournament with characters like Gai Tendo and Ryo Sakazaki from Art of Fighting and KOF. Despite its innovative mechanics, Biki Wan was limited by the failure of the Hyper Neo Geo 64 platform. With SNK reviving various IPs, Biki Wan is absolutely a franchise I want to see come back, especially that unlike the other fighting games, Biki Wan is SNK's answer to Tekken and Virtua Fighter. Now, the control system is kinda difficult to make it work in today's day and age, so bringing back that unique way of controlling the characters might not be a good idea. But other than that, Biki Wan definitely needs to make a comeback. Beast Busters. Released in 1991, Beast Busters was SNK's foray into the rail shooter genre, letting players battle hordes of zombies and mutants with mounted machine guns. The game was one of the first to feature cooperative multiplayer. It saw a spiritual successor in Beast Busters' Second Nightmare, as well as a mobile spin-off. A modern reboot could merge its cooperative shooting gameplay with immersive horror storytelling, bringing it in line with popular franchises like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. This could be SNK's first foray into expansive 3D horror genre. Super Sidekicks. Launched in 1992, Super Sidekicks was SNK's answer to arcade soccer games, delivering fast-paced, action-packed gameplay with vibrant visuals and accessible controls. As one of the first soccer games to feature dynamic close-up animations for dramatic moments like scoring goals or executing tackles, it stood out in arcades and gained a loyal fanbase. The series received 4 sequels, each refining gameplay and adding new features. The last entry, the Ultimate 11 SNK Football Championship, marked the peak of its popularity before the series went dormant. A revival of Super Sidekicks could blend arcade-style soccer with modern mechanics, catering to both nostalgic fans and new audiences in an era which is almost exclusively dominated by simulation-heavy soccer games. Its fast pick-up and play style could offer a refreshing alternative in the sports gaming genre. What do you guys think about these 11 IPs that I believe should make a comeback? Let me know which one you agree with, and if there is any other IP that I haven't mentioned that you want to see make a comeback now that SNK is reviving many of its franchises. Big shout out to the channel patrons for helping the channel and making this content possible. You can become a channel patron or a premium subscriber by checking the link in the description or pressing on the join button below. Channel patrons and premium subscribers get some exclusive digital goodies. Now until next time, thank you guys for watching.